Hello friend! Today I'm going to take you step by step through how to paint this purple sunflower, and I'm going to tell you each step along the way what you need to do. The supplies will be listed down below in the description. Let's get started! So I'm going to start with the middle of the flower. This is where the yellow is going to come in. We're just going to paint a big circle. Once we get the yellow circle going, I'm going to mix some orange, actually kind of a dark red orange, a little red and yellow mixed together. And that's going to go around the outside edge, and then we're going to blend it in to the center a little bit. You can use a little bit of water to help spread the paint out. I am using acrylics, so it dries really fast, so you have to work pretty fast on these. If you need to, you can always pause the video. So this is just giving our center a little dimension. Darker on the outside, lighter on the inside gives us more of a rounded look. Once we've done that, I am using purple. You can use any color that you want for your sunflower. If you don't like purple, you could use red or yellow or orange or any color really. It's totally up to you. So I start with the petals on the 4 directions, top, bottom, and the sides, or 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock, however you want to look at it. And these petals are not going to be exactly the same, but you can see that I'm measuring them with my brush to make sure they're not exactly the same length, but they should be pretty similar. You don't want one side to be really short petals and the other side to have really long petals. So each petal is going to have a little bit of a different shape. Some will be more curved and more pointed. Some will be fatter and some will be skinnier. Once you get the 4 directions done, then you're going to go into the middle in between each of those petals and put the next round of petals in. The reason I do this is so that they're spaced well and you don't end up with a bunch of space left over or not enough space left over. Once you get those center petals in, then you're going to do another petal in the center of those petals. And you want to make sure that your petals are varying widths and shapes, because this will make your flower look more natural. So while I'm finishing up those petals, I really want to encourage you to paint along with me. Anybody can do this. All it takes is practice and patience. Practice makes perfect. Once we have all those petals done, we're going to start doing the petals that are in the layer behind these front petals. So you're going to go in between the 2 petals that you've already got there, and you're going to push them behind by making sure that the petals that you've already done overlap over the top of those petals. This is going to push those petals back into the background. And you can't really see it as well now, but later when we start doing the shading and the highlighting, you'll be able to see that a lot better. Once the petals are all finished, we're going to come back into the center and use a dark orange, kind of a red orange, and we're just going to tap around the edge of the circle on the inside. This completes that edge where the petals come into the middle, so it's finished looking. This will also be the texture of the center eventually. Now we'll start the shading of the petals. I'm going to mix a little bit of a darker purple, just a little bit of that orange mixed in with the purple will make it darker. And we're going to shade the petals that are in between and pushed back. We're going to push those back more by shading those petals a little bit further down the petal than we do on the upper petals. This gives more dimension to the petals and shows where one is behind the other a little bit better. Again, you want to make sure that the petals on top are overlapping the petals on the bottom. To blend that shading in a little bit, all you need to do is rinse your brush with the color, tap it onto your towel a little bit, dry it out a little bit, and then use the brush to blend it out. Now you have to do this pretty quickly before the paint dries, so just do one petal at a time. Once I get to the middle of the petals, I flip the canvas around so it's easier to get to the other side. Next, I'm starting with the highlights. I mix some white with the purple to give me a light purple color, and I'm going to highlight just the top petals, the ones that are in front. Next are the ridges on the petals. I'm doing 2 lines with the darker purple and curving them around the outside edges of the petals. I'm going to go all the way around and all the petals will get these lines. Once all the ridges are in, I'm mixing a lighter purple, more white, just a little bit of purple. And I'm going over the space in between the ridges, around the edges of the petal and in the middle. I'm going to do that on all the upper petals. And I'm even bringing it down to the tips and highlighting some of the tips as well. I'm also doing some of the background petals, but only on the tips of the petals. I'm not going into the inside where the shading is. Now I'm going to go back into the middle. I'm going to use some dark orange and I'm going to keep tapping into the middle, and I'm just making some little dots. And as I go further into the middle, the dots are going to get further apart. Also, the color will get lighter as it goes into the middle. You'll mix a little bit more yellow with your orange as you go in. And once you get into the center, you're going to be using a pure white. This helps give that curve effect on the middle, so it looks like it's rounded and not just a flat center. Now I'm going over the light purple with some light yellow, giving it a little pop of highlight so that the highlighted areas stand out a little better. Now it's time to put the leaves in. I'm mixing a little bit of a darker green with a little bit of red, just to darken it up a little bit, because my green is a little bright. And just like in the flower petals, the leaves are going to be varied in shape and size. You want to make sure that the leaves go all the way into those corners between the petals. So I'm using a smaller brush for that. So you'll just go around and put the leaves in all the way around. Once you're done with the leaves, it's time to put in the background. I'm using blue for my background, but you can use any color you like. After the fact, looking back, I think I should have used an orange or a red. It would have set off the green a little better, given it a little more contrast. As I go around doing the background, I periodically use a dry brush to go in and smooth out the brush strokes in the background. It pushes the background back so that it's not standing out as much as the rest of it. In order to make the leaves a little bit more dimensional, I'm using some light green, basically green mixed with yellow and some white. And I'm just putting some highlights onto the leaves, mostly on the tips and the sides. This helps the leaves stand out and have a little more dimension. After highlighting the leaves, I decided that the yellow was just a little too yellow, so I'm mixing a little bit of light purple, just some white with purple, and I'm going over the yellow with the light purple to tone down the yellow a little bit. And that's it. The painting is complete. If you want to add more detail or work on it a little bit more, please feel free. I would love to see photos of your paintings once you finish them. If you wanted to post some photos in the comments, that would be really great. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more of my videos, you can follow the links up above to see some other painting videos that I've done. Please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel to see more. Thank you again for watching.